Hello everyone and welcome to lesson 9.1B. I've entitled this video, Natural Resources of the Tropical North. This video is going to cover pages 277 to 279. Natural resources. Tropical rainforests cover much of the north, but lack of roads and the region's physical geography have made it difficult for any of its countries to exploit this natural resource. The North's largest countries, Venezuela and Colombia, are its richest and most diverse in other resources as well. Fossil fuels. Oil is found across much of the tropical north. Venezuela is South America's top producer of oil and ranks 11th in the world. Some of the world's largest known reserves are in the Llanos, at the mouth of the Orinoco River, and offshore in the Caribbean. Large amounts also exist around Lake Maracaibo, South America's largest lake, along the country's northwestern coast. Venezuela has some of the world's largest natural gas deposits and is South America's second largest coal producer. Most of the coal lies along the country's southwestern border with Colombia. Question number 1. What are two reasons that have made it challenging for the countries in the tropical north to use or exploit their natural resources? They have a lack of roads, and the region's physical geography, such as mountains and really tough areas to get through, like jungle areas, makes it hard for them to get to the resources. Question 2. What fossil fuel is found in much of the tropical north and is a big export of Venezuela? We are talking about oil. Question 3. What are two other natural resources that Venezuela has in abundance? They also have natural gas and coal. Colombia is South America's largest coal producer, with major deposits in its lowlands. It is also South America's third largest oil producer. Brazil is second, with deposits in the Amazon lowlands, the Llanos, and the Magdalena River Valley. Question number 4. What fossil fuel does Colombia lead South American countries in producing? Coal. Ecuador produces less oil than Colombia, but accounts for 40% of Ecuador's exports. It is piped over the Andes from oil fields in the east. Suriname and Guyana also have oil resources, but they do not produce enough to even meet their needs. Question number 5. While Ecuador does not produce as much oil as Colombia does, what accounts for 40% of Ecuador's exports? Oil. So it just goes to show that Ecuador is sort of limited as to what it can export to the world, but certainly oil is a big one for them. Minerals and gems. Gold is found throughout the tropical north. The largest deposits are in Colombia's mountains, eastern Ecuador, and Venezuela's Guiana highlands. In Ecuador, thousands of miners live in remote jungle regions and do dangerous work in tunnels that sometimes collapse in heavy rains. Question 6. What valuable precious metal is found throughout the tropical north? Gold. Diamonds are mined from Colombia to Suriname, but Colombia is better known for high-quality emeralds, pictured right here, and is the world's leading emerald producer. Guyana is one of the world's largest producers of bauxite, and here we see bauxite, a mineral used to make aluminum. Venezuela and Suriname also have major bauxite deposits. In addition, the four countries have important deposits of copper, iron ore, and other minerals. Except for gold, Ecuador's mineral resources are limited, and French Guiana has no important mining industries. Question number 7. What is a valuable gemstone that is mined in the tropical north? Diamonds. Question 8. What valuable gemstone does Colombia lead the world in mining? Emeralds. The green emeralds. Question 9. Guyana is one of the world's largest producers of bauxite. What makes bauxite valuable to humans? Well, bauxite is used to make aluminum, and we make a lot of things out of aluminum. So as the picture shows down here, it's not the only use for bauxite, but definitely in the creation of aluminum, bauxite is a big product. Agriculture and fishing. The differing elevations and climates in Ecuador and Colombia allow farmers to grow a variety of crops. Both countries export bananas from their tropical lowlands and coffee from the Tierra Templada. Ecuador's agriculture, however, is not well developed. The amount of farmland is limited, and most rural Ecuadorians grow only enough to feed their families. Corn, potatoes, beans, and cassava are common crops in both countries. Colombia produces rice, wheat, sugarcane, and cattle for sale, as well as cotton for the country's large textile, that means clothing, industry. Coffee is Venezuela's main cash crop, a product raised mainly for sale. Venezuela's main food crops are corn and rice. Most farming takes place in the northwest, and most ranching happens on the llanos. Only about 10% of Venezuelans are farmers or ranchers, and much the same is true of Venezuela's neighbors to the east. Guyana, Suriname, and French Guiana have little farming because much of the land is covered by rainforest. Any farming takes place mainly along the coast. Fishing is not a major economic activity in the tropical north, which is unusual for countries that border the sea. The region's people do not eat much fish. The major catch of its small fishing industry is shrimp, most of which is exported. Question number 10. What two crops do both Ecuador and Colombia export? Bananas. Question 11. What is a cash crop? A cash crop is a crop or product that you raise mainly for sale. You're not growing it to feed yourselves. You're growing it so that you can sell it to make money. Question 12. What is Venezuela's main cash crop? Coffee. And question 13. What percentage of Venezuelans are either farmers or ranchers? Only about 10%. That's not a lot. Which leads us to question 14 on the back. Thinking question. Why do you think so few people from Venezuela, Guyana, Suriname, and French Guiana are ranchers or farmers? So why do you think not a lot of them are ranchers or farmers? Give yourself some thought here. Think about their geography, and I'll let you write down your answer this time. Let's move on to question 15. What is unusual about fishing for the tropical north countries? Well, it's unusual that they don't really eat much fish, nor is it a big economic activity for the people in that industry. And that's unusual for people that live by the sea. And question 16, what is the one seafood that is exported by the tropical north? Shrimp. Well, before we go, of course, I've got to leave you with something. Mom, money doesn't grow on trees. Cash crop? Thank you so much for watching, and have a great day.